What is up, guys? I would like to officially welcome you all to the new and improved Garage Quinn Motors Garage. I'm so happy to finally be done with this project. This was a good time suck over the last week and a half or so. Probably about 50 hours into the project. While it was nothing too major, it certainly was a lot of work. And once I get started in something like this and everything sort of goes to shambles and there's a mess everywhere, I kind of freak out and I really rush to try to get it done as quickly as possible. So there was no downtime, to say the least, and I'm definitely running on a big lack of sleep right now. So I'm going to give you guys a tour, and first we're going to start out here. Before we get to the fun stuff out there, we're gonna come out here. So this is now the new and improved work area. I'm going to switch around here and so I can point at stuff. So starting right here, this bay, which is just big enough to hold a single vehicle pulled in. Now keep in mind these are oversized width bays. This is going to be the primary work bay. One of the benches that I had cut apart and put together is this new longer workbench here with a 3x12 top. So this will be where the brunt of the work is going to happen, out in this space. I left my cabinets and whatnot over on the end there. As you can see, I actually moved the white FD, and I kind of quick detailed it a little bit to make it not so ugly and dusty. Even though this car does need to be resprayed because of just some flaws and imperfections in the paint. It's sitting here for now. I left it on wheels because I'm not sure how long it's going to stay here for. Ideally, I'm going to start working on it. And this bay, which is a bigger bay, you can fit two cars in here, one behind each other, as long as they're not terribly long. But this is going to be kind of more for the long-term projects. So what I did was over here, I took the two ends of the other bench that I cut apart from the main section over there, and I put them together, but I narrowed the overall width so you can pull in comfortably to this bay and have plenty of room in between yourself and the car to get access to the workbench. And I think that worked out pretty well. Tomorrow, fun fact, I'm going to be closing on my old house, which I'm so excited, happy, and relieved for. Once I get that second mortgage off of my plate, one of the first items that's going to be on the lift is one of the first items that's going to be on my list is going to be the lift, and the first lift is going to go into this bay right here. I would like to get at least one more on top of that, maybe even two, depending on how things go. But the second one I was thinking about putting here where the FD is, so this would be for the more long-term car projects. And then I may entertain the fact of getting a third lift to stick down there straight yonder in case I want to do something a little bit more showy or just doesn't require a lot of dirty work. I'm not there yet though. I just want to get the first one in to get started. I moved my press right there in front of that door. I don't really need that door because I pretty much keep this one open all the time. And, you know, I figured that's a good spot for it. For now, I may stick it somewhere else. Those feet sticking out kind of make it a little bit annoying to put anywhere without it kind of sticking out and being in the way. The toolbox, I did put in a different location. I said originally I want to stick it straight ahead there, just to the left of this bench. However, because if you watch the previous videos, the floor is at a pitch for water drainage. When I had it lined up right here, it was on a definite tilt, like so. And every time I walked by, it just caught my eye because the wood beams for the support are straight. So it was like really bothering me. So I ended up moving it over to here where there's less pitch. And you don't really see it on an angle or anything. And I figured this would be good because it's kind of a good happy medium in between both of the work areas. So if I need to grab tools and come over here, I'm not walking all the way to the other side. So that's where it's going to stay for now. It is just a pinch in the way when I'm pulling in and trying to back into this space right over here. because of how tight I cut it. But you could see it's about maybe a couple inches past, probably about a couple inches past the doorway there. But again, this is an oversized door base, so it's not that big of an issue. I just got to be a little bit more careful when I'm driving in here. So coming out here, and this is, I have to say, I think this just looks so cool, the way everything's set up. It's a little bit of work to get them in here, but it's not terribly bad. Because it's kind of just fresh and new to me, I did have to like kind of back the car up and move it forward a couple times just to kind of get it where I wanted. Ultimately, what I think is going to happen, in order for me to fit four cars on this side, I'm going to have to kind of pull this, whatever car's stuck in here, which will probably be the red Miata, I'm going to pull it forward through the bay and then back in this way instead of just backing everything in. This will get it closer to the door over there, and then it'll allow me to fit four. There's definitely a generous gap in between each of these cars to open doors up fully. And since I don't have any more cars to put in here, I kind of just threw them in here for now and let them sit comfortably. I'm not really worried too much about packing them in. To make this whole setup work the way it is, as you could see here, so cars that are a little bit longer, S2000 and Z4M Coupe, they're 160 and 162 inches respectively in length. I have to get them kind of right up against the wall, and you can see they extend past that pull a little bit. Still leaves the middle bay open though. It allows you to drive in here, and you got a decent enough room from side to side, so I could still stick a car backed in all the way back here up against the wall and not have to worry about anything. These two cars, I stuck them over here just because the space is too small for 3 cars with that breakout right there, but these cars being a little bit bigger than everything else that I got, I thought that they fit kind of nicely in here. The longest car in here is actually the FD, believe it or not, so that's why I kind of stuck this one back here in this corner. This way I can let it kind of hang out a little bit farther, and I'm not having to drive any cars around it. So that's why I stuck the FD over here. Plus, Mazda, just naturally makes sense. The cabinets are still in place. They're a little bit difficult to get at now, just because if I need to get something, I kind of got to walk, and you could see, sneak the camera in here. I do get the cars pretty close just to maximize the amount of space that I have. I just hit my head as I was raising it. But you can still get to them. Worst case scenario, I may have to pull a car out by hand or whatever. Not that big of a deal. When I back them in, I get them pretty close, and then when I get out of the car, I just pull them back to get them nice and snug. I'm not backing them in with my mirrors because I don't want to hit the wall. It's easier just to pull that last few inches to get it snug. But yeah, I mean, this whole setup, I really do dig it. The shop is really starting to feel like my own. Like I said, when I came here, I was a little bit overwhelmed with everything, and I wasn't quite sure what to do with it. So the whole space was just kind of scattered about. But now this is really starting to feel like it's my own personal touches in here. I mean, if you watch the house video when I first kind of introduced the garage, I talked about how I did all the floor coatings and I did all the lighting because there's just temporary electrical ran and electrical wires hanging down. So everything's all cleaned up. I did all that. I am going to add some more lights out to the work bay now. I've already installed 2 extra ones. When I bought all these, I had 2 left over, so I added 2 more out there. But along the back doors there, I'm going to put 3 lights, 1 in front of each door, just to kind of light the rear of the cars. Because I don't have lighting that extends in over there. Over here, tire machine, engine hoist. I kind of just have this stuff pushed in back here because it's out of the way. I still don't know if that's going to be the tire machine's permanent location. I'll worry about that once I pony up and get my hands on a balancer. S2000 hood, I actually made some progress on this. This has been such a miserable project, but it can actually pass for kind of like a carbon hood now. You can still see after a lot of wet sanding, I got to go back and hit some more spots, but it can almost pass as a hood to throw on the car. I didn't even bother videotaping it because the amount of work that I have into that is just like, it's not even worth the savings at this point. I've thought about so many times during that project to go and just buy a new hood altogether. So here's the third workbench that I made, and I think this came out pretty nice. I'll use for more of like a clean workbench for doing like interior bits, some of my stitchings. I haven't really shown this too much on the channel yet, but I've been playing around with doing my own contrasting stitching on stuff, so I'll be doing some videos on that. And then the other cool thing is that even though I chopped up all the benches that were along that wall, I actually reutilized just about everything. So you could see here, I reused the old tabletops that were ran across. The other ones, I cut them and I made a full surface from this. I flipped them over because these sides were mint. They had no wear on them. So I think this worked out pretty nicely. I'm pretty happy, and I'm really glad that I thought of this midway through to put a bench out here, because if I want to do anything to the cars, I really don't have any bench area. So at least I have something out here. Ideally, I should probably get one of those rolly toolboxes eventually, so they have like a worktop and I can move it around when I need to do stuff. But this will have to suffice for now. So we'll take a look over here. I put a little computer desk in here with a laptop. I can crank some tunes on here when I'm out here. So this works out pretty nicely. And then, of course, Mazda flag. Let's see. Mazda flag and my vintage 1970s Sears catalog barrel furniture set, which I love this set. I had this in the old shop. There was an indoor flea market across from the old shop space that I was renting, and I walked over there one day just to check it out, and one of the guys there, he had this set, and I just kind of had to have it because it's small, it's compact, but it just looks the part, and it just works so nicely in the shop. Everybody seems to dig it when they come over, and just because it's unusual, it's different, you know, so really happy with that. We'll take a walk out here, I suppose. The dry bay, I do have a car out here that I'm storing. It's my friend's GT3. But the dry bay is kind of cleaned up more now. So GT3 just kind of sitting there chilling, and I moved all the junk that I had for the white FD, which was stored behind it previously, just kind of put it out here, and that's so. So that is the new shop. I'm gonna swing you guys around here. So that is the new improved garage. I'm really excited about it. I'm still not done. So I'm gonna call this transition phase done, but I'm still gonna continue to do build logs for this because obviously the lifts are going in. I'm still waiting on my guy to do the concrete pad behind the parking spot, so I'll do some documentation for that. And if you guys want to see like some more of the electrical, I got to hang some lights. I don't know if you're interested in that sort of stuff or not. It's kind of boring, but I am going to add some more lighting out in the work area. So that's it for now. Excited to start filming again, doing some projects this winter, and I also have some awesome driving footage and driving reviews coming out soon too. So stay tuned for that, guys, and thank you very much as always for tuning in. I greatly appreciate all your support. The more support that the channel has, the more I can do. So let's keep on doing this, and I'll keep on producing content for you guys. So thank you very much for tuning in, and have a great night. That's it for this one.